Hey guys, June 6th, going over a work short from yesterday, June 5th. So there was earnings that came out Thursday night, I believe, and it caused the stock to gap down. And when I woke up in the morning, it was down like 15%, and it was quite extended below VWAP. So this kind of triggers a trade for me where I'm looking for a pop into VWAP, get rejected around that level, and take it short, and hopefully you have some momentum to the downside for a couple, maybe a point or a point and a half, or maybe even 2 points if you're lucky. So that's kind of the trade. So looking at the daily, March, in the beginning of March, it hit this 30-50 area, and then this is right when the NBA season suspended and everybody was getting coronavirus and the big panic happened, and it hit a low of 15.10, and then it slowly bounced up, and eventually around this 30-50 it broke out, and you can see it wicked, broke out and then came back, wicked, and boom, back up, and then broke out, and then eventually it had the earnings, right? And I think the reason it sold off is because it had a little bit weaker guidance than they thought. Zoom had really good guidance, so they were expecting something similar to Zoom's, and it wasn't quite as quite the same hype. So it had this big sell-off. So I'm looking for, okay, maybe it pops into this area here, and then I take it short. Oops, Siri. And I take it short to maybe get to 31, and then maybe to this level, and then maybe the dream is, does it go down to like 29 level. So let's hop into the video. So you can see in the morning here, it's already down 16.7%. SSR is going to come on as soon as the stock opens, because once it's down 10%, you're going to get short sale restriction, and that means you can only short, that you can no longer short on the bid, so you have to get filled on an uptick. So that kind of bums the mood a little bit for a short seller. You're like, you might not get the as good as price as just slamming the bid. You might not get filled for a while. You might not get filled at all. So I kind of go through that struggle in this video. So I'm looking here, and you can see that there was, in the morning it was above VWAP, and then, this big sell-off here around 8:45, and it keeps going, keeps going. So you're a little bit down below VWAP. You're looking weak, and I'm looking, can it pop into this area? This is a prior consolidation top area, and this was a kind of prior low area where you have a spot here, a spot here, a spot here. So can I look for 32.10 to 32.30? Because I knew as soon as it opened, this VWAP is going to go probably around 32.10, because there's going to be huge volume right off the open. So I'm looking for that, get rejected, risk to maybe 32.40, 32.30, and then take it short to 31, maybe 31.30 for a first partial, and 31, and then let's see how far I can go. Maybe that 30.50, or maybe even 29. So that's kind of my plan here. So we have 10 seconds before the bell, and I see it slowly popping up. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty nice. We're getting our pop maybe. So I'm waiting. Okay, so now you notice that it's already 9:30:01, and there's no volume. So, normally right at 9:30 you would have your opening prints, and you're already in this, intently watching. But for this stock, it took about 8 seconds before the opening prints. So I really don't want to do anything until I see the official open prints happening. So I'm waiting. See, it's 05, 06, 07, and bam, 1.6 million. So now I'm watching intently, and the first thing I noticed is, what the hell, the ask is below the bid. So something is going on today. This is not normal. This usually doesn't happen, but for some reason, this isn't entirely accurate. So it's got me a little frustrated, but I'm still waiting. You know, I'm waiting to see, is it going to pop into this 3230 area? It looks like it is right now. Okay, it's popped there. It's not really going up. Oh, it looks pretty weak there. And I hit the bid right around 32.15, and I didn't get filled. I got filled at 32.01, but it upticked over here. So I have no idea how I got filled that low. I think I should have got filled around 32.20, 32.15. No idea how that happened, but that's SSR. Maybe this, you know, this level 2 is just, but it doesn't make sense. So anyways, I'm looking here now, and I want this to break 32 right now. Like, to make me feel better, I want this to break 32 now. If this hovers above 32 for much longer, if this gets above 32.30, I'm on out immediately, because this is going to reverse, right? This could go up to 33.30. I don't want to be holding this for a couple, like a dollar, you know, point in the opposite direction. So I'm risking like 30 cents right now. So I see it get down to 32 here, and I'm like, okay, let's crack. No, it's not really cracking, so I'm not feeling that confident. But in the same time, I don't see this, you know, the time sales, you know, littered with green. Like, it's not showing bullish signs. It's kind of just in a state of indecision right now. So we're just waiting here, waiting. It's going up to 32.20, you know, just hovering here around VWAP. I don't see anything. Just waiting. You know, it's kind of going normal, and then it feels like it just sped up there, right? And you'll notice that, you know, there's more red prints. So I actually tried to hit some right here. My actual price is 31.97 right now. You can't see it, but I hit for 31.97. So all I need is a damn uptick, and I'm in. You know, as long as I'm, you know, there's probably a queue of short guys here, so I'm probably like in line to get filled on an uptick, and no, right? It just doesn't happen, and it drops below my limit price. And this is what I wanted to see at 32, is it just dropped. And now here it's like, yeah, you know, you got your ask at 31.51 and your bid at 31.70. I'm not sure why this is like this, and you can see it's getting filled at that price, but I guess that the shorts are very aggressive. They're putting the limit order at 31.50, and they're just waiting for upticks. Normally, I would think that this would normally show as 31.71 here, and just stack that. But I don't know. I mean, you can see it's stacked right here. So this is very strange to me. I guess maybe these guys are going to get filled first over these guys. Yeah, it's very odd. Somebody wants out, right? And I'm liking this action right now. So it's going down, right? Like, you can tell that this thing's dropping. And about now, I'm like, okay, you know, we just dropped a good 70 cents. We're now kind of pivoting around this area. I'm going to take a small little partial, lock in 2R, and, you know, because this bid and ask thing is frustrating me a little bit. It's a little strange, so. And this is a prior pivot before, so there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit on 2R. So I'm just waiting here, and it's kind of fighting, a little bit of a battle, and then boom, you're down to 25 again. And you notice here that this is what I noticed right away is, oh, you know, 25's holding, but 26 is stacked, so that means that shorts are trying to pile in here. So this, to me, is very bearish. I'm thinking that this is going to crack some more, probably go to 31 at least. So, I mean, getting filled here would probably be hard because you now be getting in the queue behind everybody else here. So I didn't add back, but I didn't get out either. So I'm just waiting here. And then I noticed, we're kind of sitting at this 31.25 level. There's only 100 shares showing, yet we're printing a ton of shares at 31.25. And there was already some that I didn't pause on. And we got it stacked here, but If this thing holds for a long period of time, that'll be basically an unusual hold at the bid, and that's kind of what's happening over here earlier. So maybe this guy has a lot of orders to fill, big buy order. So I'm kind of watching. If this gets bought up, this might start reversing up to back to basically my entry. So I don't want to let my majority of my position go back to my entry. So if this gets bought out, I might take another partial. But I'm hoping that this gets taken out and it drops. So I'm sitting here, still holding, and look at that. There was a ton of orders. So now I'm a little concerned, a little tiny bit, and I'm waiting. And then finally the guy gave up. And now I notice that, okay, now there's a big buyer at 31.20. So it dropped 5 cents immediately. And there's 23,600 shares sitting here. So if I was along this stock, say the 31.25 with where that other guy was, if this thing breaks now, I definitely want to get out. So as this is decrementing, if I was long, I want to get out of here right into this guy. I want to use this guy as a buffer for me. So if these shares all go away, I want to get out. So to me, if I was going to short this again, this is be another good spot, I think, to maybe get a momentum short, is as this is decrementing, like start hitting it. But the bids already or the asks already stacked, so getting these shares. But you notice as soon as this gets decremented, it's poof, 10-15 cents here. But then you notice it got bought up right to 22 again. So you can see there's a little bit of a fight here. That was a little bit of a support, and it looks to me like it still's heavy. It bounced to 22, and then the shorts and the sellers sent it right back down to 30.12.10. So right now I'm thinking, okay, I want to send out maybe a little order, tiny order, to see is there still lots of sellers. And let's see. I'm gonna put it out right away, and okay, it's kind of hovering here. I'm okay with I'm about 90 cents up. Oop! I put it out, immediately filled. So that usually means to me that this is going to go down more. There were sellers right away. Because I put my order on the on the bid, sorry, and it immediately got filled. So that means that this is probably going to go down. And you notice that, yep, it went down. So if we just fast forward later, eventually this traded all the way down here to 30.50, where I put it out on Thinkorswim level, and I was just kind of at this point holding about 30% of my position, and I was going to see if I was going to get maybe that 29, and I was risking my entries at 32ish. I'm risking maybe 10-15 cents of a VWAP here. Eventually I got stopped out. But normally what can happen is it goes to VWAP, which would be probably around 31.40 when it gets up there, and then it could sell off all the way to 29. So I left a part to run, but I'm still happy with taking, it could have been better, but it is what it is. If this was not SSR, there would have been more opportunities to get short in some of these areas here when you see that when the bid was had big orders on it and then they started decrementing. You can definitely short those. So that is my trade. Hope you liked the video. Goodbye.